Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've been pouring your heart and soul into creating content only to hear absolute crickets, you're definitely not alone. It's frustrating, right? Well, today we're totally demystifying the 2025 and 2026 Facebook algorithm, and we're going to show you exactly how to finally get your content seen.
All right, so here's our quick roadmap for today. We're looking at 1. The crisis of declining reach. 2. Secrets of the new algorithms. 3. Reels, your secret weapon. 4. Editing tools for professional content. And 5. Your guide to profiting. Let's just jump right in.
Part 1. The Crisis of Declining Reach.
Man, it is incredibly demoralizing to spend hours crafting what you think is the perfect post, only to get zero engagement. So why exactly do your posts die? Have you just suddenly lost your touch? Absolutely not. The game hasn't ended, you guys. The rules have just completely changed. Facebook is no longer that chronological feed from way back when, where everything you post just magically gets shown to everyone who follows you. Nah, it's evolved into a highly intelligent, behavior-driven machine.
Which brings us to part 2, secrets of the new algorithms.
Okay, so to beat this machine, we literally need to understand how it thinks. And the biggest paradigm shift you need to grasp right now is this. The new algorithm, it simply doesn't judge the subjective quality of your content anymore. It honestly doesn't care how beautiful your lighting is or how poetic your caption turned out. Instead, it strictly tracks and rewards immediate user behavior. Does your post stop the scroll? Does it create an immediate visceral human reaction in those very first few seconds? Because right now, that reaction is basically the only thing the algorithm actually cares about.
And when we actually look at the specific quantifiable data behind those reactions, a super clear picture starts to emerge. Think about this. Getting a viewer to watch your video for more than 10 seconds, that gives you a massive 32% boost. Sparking a comment that's longer than 20 words gets you an 18% boost. And short reels under 90 seconds are seeing a crazy 38% algorithmic push. Plus, if your content matches a user's personalized interests, you're looking at a huge 61% increase. But take a look at the absolute danger zone at the bottom of the list. Posting external links will literally tank your reach by 45%. Why? Because the algorithm's #1 goal is keeping people right there on Facebook, not sending them away.
But out of all those metrics, there is one ultimate ranking signal in 2026, and that is the share. Sharing is hands down the most powerful signal you can generate. Why? Because it proves your content is so valuable, so relatable, or maybe even so provocative that a viewer is actually willing to attach their own name to it and pass it on to a friend. When someone shares your post, they're essentially doing Facebook's distribution job for them. And let me tell you, the algorithm will heavily reward you for that.
Moving on to part 3, Reels, your secret weapon. So how exactly do we generate those shares consistently? Well, right now, short-form video is absolutely the fastest way to gain organic reach. And this comparison perfectly illustrates the difference between a reel that dies instantly and one that just explodes. Look at the dead reel scenario. You know the type. It starts with a long logo intro, distracting background music, and a really slow, "Welcome, today we will talk about." Yeah, that reel is dead in literally 3 seconds because people have already swiped past it. Now, compare that to the viral reel. It relies on the critical 3-second rule using a direct hook, something like, if your ad works but posts die, here's your one mistake. And then it immediately follows up with the value and the solution. You've got a maximum of 3 seconds to earn a viewer's attention. You have to give them a reason to stay instantly.
Of course, to maintain that momentum and avoid algorithm fatigue, you really need a balanced diet of content. So here's an actionable weekly playbook you can use for 2025 and 2026. Try aiming for 2 reels a week, with strong hooks and really specific questions. Then add 2 discussion posts. But hey, instead of those vague, "what do you think" questions, give people 2 or 3 specific options and ask for their reasoning. That is exactly what drives those long 20-word comments we want. Then throw in 1 story post, maybe a before and after or a personal lesson to build some real human connection. And finally, drop 1 reference post, like a tool guide or a listicle, which is specifically designed to trigger that ultimate signal. The share.
All right, Part 4. Editing Tools for Professional Content.
Now, executing this kind of high retention strategy means your content does have to look pretty sharp. But don't stress, you absolutely do not need a Hollywood budget for this. Here are the top free software options derived right from the source material. First up, CapCut. It is fantastic for beginners, and it's totally packed with AI and native tools optimized for social media. Now, if you want something professional grade, DaVinci Resolve is basically unmatched. It supports 8K and advanced color correction entirely for free. Shotcut is another great open-source option that natively supports 4K. Oh, and Lightworks? It offers a timeline so advanced it was actually used to edit major Hollywood films like Pulp Fiction. Pretty wild, right?
So the real takeaway here is that you have incredible resources right at your fingertips. Just look at this number, 180. That represents the sheer amount of free visual effects included in another really highly recommended free software called HitFilm Express. It just proves the unbelievable power of the free tools available to us today. There are absolutely zero technical excuses holding you back from creating dynamic, scroll-stopping content.
Which leads us perfectly into part 5, your guide to profiting.
Now that you've got the strategy and the tools, let's talk about the real goal here, turning all this effort into tangible cash. Meta has actually laid out a super clear path to monetization, and you just have to hit these 3 milestones to get your invitation to start running ads on your Reels. Step 1, you've got to set up a professional page. You cannot monetize a standard personal profile. Step 2, you need to organically reach 5,000 active followers. And step 3, you have to accumulate 500,000 Reel views within a rolling 60-day window. And honestly, by utilizing those fast-paced hooks and the content mix we just went over, hitting that 500,000 view mark is way more accessible now than it's ever been.
To wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Facebook doesn't reward those who post a lot. It rewards those who create a reaction. Seriously, posting blindly into the void 5 times a day is just a complete waste of your time. Strategy, sharp hooks, and genuine human engagement are always going to be sheer volume. So the question is, are you going to keep shouting into the void, or are you going to use this playbook to start creating reactionary, profitable content starting today? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now get out there and start creating.